Chiefs across the board. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 6-6 going into the San Francisco 49ers 8-4. San Francisco is still a 3.5 point favorite here, even though they got Purdy is starting. It didn't sway the points so much like the Ravens Steelers game did. Lamar went out, points swayed towards Steelers. It's that 49ers team is a really good team. The Bucs offense continuing to struggle. It's hard to put positive points on it outside of the 2-minute drill, but that's been working for them all season. That's pretty much the only thing working for them all season. But my two main issues for this game is that the Bucs versus fill-in quarterbacks, they always make the fill-in quarterback look like a stud, just historically. I don't know what it is, if we just can't prepare for fill-in quarterbacks.
That's so
Daniel Jones's first game, he looked like a superstar. I think Kyle Allen, when he filled in for a hurt Cam Newton, looked like a superstar. Stuff like that. Like that's one of my big concerns. Is I would love us to see us beat up on Purdy and make him look like a backup quarterback, but I don't see it happening. Secondly, is that we lost the turnover battle to New Orleans, who has the most turnovers in the league. They have the worst turnover differential in the league, and we gave them two and got none. So if we can't get turnovers on a team that is doing it bad, you're not going to get a team that's doing it good. The 49ers are one of the best. So the 49ers here for me. Where are you at with this one, Charlie?
49ers.
Give me Tom Brady. You did hit on the subject that I was going to touch on, which was the low turnovers, because on the season, Tampa's top 4 in not giving the ball away. Obviously, that was a big deal last game. It was a division rival, and the Saints just have Tampa's number, it seems like. It doesn't matter how bad the Saints are playing. If they're playing the Bucs, it's going to be a nail-biter. Looking at it, Brady's got 3 INTs on the season. Brock Purdy already has 2. I think the Bucs defense matches up really well with what the Niners are going to want to do. Obviously, the big elephant in the room is C-Mac because of how dynamic he is. But the Bucs made Kamara look less than average last week, and a very similar skill set, catching the ball in the backfield, can run between the tackles, very versatile back. And New Orleans runs a pretty similar type of West Coast scheme as the Saints do. So I like the Bucs here. They're only giving up 98 yards on the ground here of recent. I think they can hold things in check, make Purdy's life a little bit difficult. The offensive line for the 49ers is still not playing crazy good right now. So I think you can get to the passer, as we seen Jimmy G go down with broken foot last week. I think you can get him off his timing. Rookie quarterback. He's going to have to dumb down the playbook for Purdy. I know he's got some things that, he's definitely going to like with him. But give me Tom Brady. Give me low turnovers. It's going to be right down to the end. But I like the Bucs. I like the Bucs getting the 3.5 on the point spread as well. So I'm going to go Bucs here.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bucs too because, that San Francisco defense is giving up 230-something yards a game, and that's something that's where the Bucs are strong at, right? I mean, the Bucs aren't rushing a lot, and San Francisco's barely giving up any rushing yards anyway. San Francisco's giving up 228 yards passing a game and 75.6 yards rushing. Tampa's not a run team, and they're not going to try and start today. You know what I mean? Like, they're rushing for 73 yards a game. Like, that literally plays into what Tampa does. And I'm just, again, like I said, I don't know how many more times I'm going to be able to pick the GOAT, pick Brady to win a game. But I'm going to pick Brady to beat this Brock, I don't know, Purdy.
Purdy.
Let's get it.
Real quick, though.
It's going to be a tough one.
Bosa 3 sacks last game, so he's going to be coming for Tom too. And the offensive line is definitely the weak spot for the Bucs. So I can see this one going super the other way.
Oh, this is going to be a super low in scoring game.
Like, they held Cam Jordan pretty quiet for the most part.
9-12. 9-12. 9-12. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I got the 49ers. Everything Brady said was pretty much. I mean, I can't argue with them.
Factual.
Last 2 games, yeah.
It's factual.
like Charlie just said, the defense, Bosa, the offensive line for the Bucs. The offense has looked bad all season for the Bucs. It wasn't just last week. It's looked bad all season. Regardless of the turnover ratio. I mean, Tom Brady doesn't turn the ball over. I mean, surprise. I mean, he does it every year. And that usually turns into wins, which it is, but his team around him is falling apart, and there's not enough there to help him win this one. I think with Brock and Brady made a good point with how he's gonna play well. They're gonna adjust the offensive play calling, and they'll allow him to shine and where he needs to shine. And San Francisco should handle this one nicely.
You take Brock, you take Brock, and you treat Brock like he's force him to have you beat him deep, because in this game that he won against the Dolphins, he threw the ball 37 times. He completed the ball 25 times. He threw for 210 yards. He threw for 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. He was only sacked 3 times. QB rating 56.9. Okay, but here's the thing. He only averaged 5.7 yards per play. Garoppolo, 14 yards per play. You're taking that away. So now you're going to be able to bring everybody down in the box. The dynamic of what he's going to be able to do over the long haul is going to be different. I'm going to make you teach me to be fearful of him deep, and I'm going to make you try and make him beat me deep. But, you're going to have McCaffrey underneath, Deebo underneath, Ayuk underneath. Everybody's going to be underneath, and you act like the Bucs defense is just going to jump back and let it happen. I mean,
that front seven is the strength for the Bucs too. I think you illustrated what I'm thinking beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, they have an incredible rotation
there, sideline to sideline, in the front seven. The Bucs secondary is beat up, so I mean, if they can get deep, then that definitely could happen. Because the secondary for the Bucs is really banged up. I think Winfield's still out.
Yeah, but I mean,
their other
look, I get that, but I don't think they're going to be taking those chances. Why would you take that chance of having him throw it up when you have all of this talent? You could just dump him the ball and see what happens. They're gonna try and live off that, but that's what I'm saying. The Bucs are capable of shutting that down if you want to play that type of ball. We'll see what happens. That's why they play.
Yeah. I mean, I like Charlie's take there with being able to slow down the run game of San Francisco, because that is the bread and butter to beat them. And as long as that offensive line stays healthy, Vita Vea and Akeem Hicks. Once Akeem Hicks came back in healthy, that defensive run game stepped up big time. Just having another big body guy there next to Vea. I think they're both questionable, chipped up. Vea was a game time decision last game, but he played his usual 80% of the snaps still, so he was good to go. So I imagine it's the same scenario here, even though he didn't practice today, but I imagine it's the same scenario.
It's a huge game for both teams, too. I mean, 49, they're both division leaders, but it's not comfortable for either one. Now, obviously, the Bucs got a 2-game lead, so it's a little bit like in the win-loss. But, I mean, overall, going into the playoffs, the Bucs can't win one, lose one in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, they can't do that. They'll be out. They need to get some momentum going. And when you're looking at San Francisco, they're 1 game in front of Seattle at this point, and the second-place finisher in the West might not make the playoffs. There's a legit shot that could happen. So this is a big game for both of them.
True. All right. Anything else to add for this one?
Go get him, Tom.
Next game here, Carolina Panthers.